Well, are we here today? Hi, Candy, Grace, Jill. Did this work? I think I am in the right place this time because I can see there are people here. Can you guys hear me and see me? Okay. Just double checking. We know the troubles I go through. Okay. Here we go again. Hi, Daisy. Can you guys see me and hear me? Or am I having issues once again? Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. I thought, oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, oh, good. Who knows? This has to be a first that I've actually got on and can hear and everybody can hear me and see me, and I did it right this time. Hi, Linda, Daphne, and Linda. I'm loud and clear. Good, 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 good. So how is everybody tonight? I thought I'd do a Wednesday night. Yeah, husband looked at the TV schedule tonight, and there's like nothing good on. So I said, well, I think since Wednesday nights are basically yuck TV nights, I thought, okay, I think I'm going to do my lives on Wednesday nights for at least for a little while, because, well, you know how the summer is. There's nothing terrific on TV, so I might as well sit over here and do a live and stitch a little bit. What the heck? Oh, let's see. Jill's here. Is it Renia? Renia? I'm probably saying that wrong because I'm very bad at pronouncing names. But welcome. You're a new name to me. But I'm glad you're joining us. And is Myra from Michigan? Oh, wow. We got people from all over the place again tonight. That is wonderful. Yeah, and I made it 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock because I figured by 7, people that are in Western time zones would be getting off of work, or, well, maybe, let's see. I know California is 3 hours behind me, so that would be about 4 or 5 o'clock there. Oh, Elizabeth, you went kayaking all day. You may fall asleep. Well, you know what? I've been told I have the voice that can put people to sleep when they need to relax. So if you fall asleep, that's quite all right. I won't feel bad. I forget who that was a long time. That was quite a while ago. Somebody told me they put on my videos when to listen to at night, and then so that they can fall asleep because they have trouble sleeping. Anne from Australia, welcome. Glad you're here. Hi, Lisa from Arkansas. Oh my goodness. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday. That, you know what? That's right. I keep forgetting you guys are a day ahead of us. Ghislaine, you're in Quebec. Midnight in the UK. Yeah, I kind of thought maybe it was. I kind of figured it was probably pretty late there. Candy, you're in the wild, wonderful West Virginia. Well, you guys probably all know I am in Pennsylvania. Angela, 405 in California. Okay. Because my brother lives in Oregon, and I know it's about a 3 hour distance difference. So I figured that would be the case. So for you guys, I have to share this right now because I'm so excited. Not too far from, oh, Candy, you're not too far from me. Where are you? Oh, are you close? I'm in Eastern Pennsylvania. Um, between Philly and Harrisburg. So where are you, Candy? But I have some exciting stand. Oh, Joy, you guessed my exciting news. No, it did not arrive yet. However, I got finally, because when you track stuff, you can put that you get, hello, Denise. You can get updates. Denise already knows this news. I track it because I have the tracking numbers, and I got a text message today that my stand is now in New York, New York. So it has made it across the pond. It is in New York. It is, pardon me, at, what do they call it? An ISC facility. I think that's what it's called. I can't quite remember that. However, it's in the States. Hopefully, now that I have that message, it will be here soon. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm hoping, because I'm hoping to have it by my birthday, because would not that be a fantastic birthday present, that after all this time my stand finally gets here? Customs. I think it has, well, I'm not sure if I think it's at Customs now. I think that's what those initials stand for. It's at Customs now. So hopefully, what's the date today? The 22nd. So a week from now would be the 29th. And my birthday is the 4th of July. So I'm hoping that I have it before the 4th of July, because that would be just the most fan-damn-tastic birthday present ever. Wouldn't it? Hi, Twyla. It would be, wow, that would just make my day. How long ago did I order it? Well, I ordered it. This is 2022. I ordered it March the 4th, 2021. So this March, it was a year. And, well, March, April, May, June, 15 months ago. So, given all the things that are going on in the world today, I wasn't too excited about it. The reason I got concerned was because back in September, I got an email from Michael that it was ready to ship, so that it was going to ship in October, which really wouldn't have been bad. Ordered in March, got the email in September to pay. Took longer than a baby, yeah. I don't know, it's painful. This is almost as painful as having a baby waiting for it. But I got the email in September, and paid for it for shipment in October, but it didn't ship. And then it was supposed to ship in December, and it didn't ship. And then it was supposed to ship the beginning of January, and then it didn't ship. And then, of course, I'm patiently waiting. But, COVID happened in that time, and all the things that are going on in Ukraine today, because even though on the website it says they are in, I forget, but the actual factory where they are manufactured and where they ship from is in Dnipro, Ukraine. So with all of that going on, it was a little tense there for a while. But I was periodically in contact with them, and Michael was very, very prompt in answering, and very happily gave me updates and all of that. So, even though it's stressful, wondering, is everything going to be okay? Is it going to ship? Are they running into more problems and all of that? It's finally here in the States, and hopefully I will have it. Denise, what did you say? It just took a few days for yours to arrive in Oregon. Oh, after you got the email that it was in New York. Well, I am not that far from where it is in New York. So hopefully the U.S. Postal Service does not take the scenic route, as it has been known to do. We ordered something, and it came from one of the Carolinas. Okay, it was a part that my husband needed, and it shipped from one of the Carolinas. I forget exactly whether it was North or South Carolina. And it came, to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. From Harrisburg, it went to a little itty bitty town west of us, went back to Harrisburg. From there, it then went to Bangor, Maine. I don't know how they did that. So it went all the way to Maine to then come back to Harrisburg again, and then we finally got it. So I don't know if this package really wanted a tour of New England states or what was going on, but it took the scenic route. So hopefully this one will not take the scenic route. If I'm in my place when it arrives, I would have to wear Depends. Actually, you know what I think is going to happen? Because I'm getting the floor stand. So I already have the mini stand. So this is the big floor stand, and it's not light. And I think we're probably going to get a notice to go to the post office and pick it up, because I don't think they're going to want to, unless they have a special vehicle that delivers just heavier packages. I'm going to have to sign for it first off, and I know that, but it is going to be heavy. It's going to probably be very heavy. So we may have to go get it. So if I have to go get it, my husband's going to go get it. Yeah, because I ain't lifting it. And I won't be able to put it into the car. No, I already have a hurt shoulder. Ain't got no time for that. Ain't got no time for that. But when it gets here, yes, I probably will need Depends. Because I will be very excited. But that's that's my good news of the day. I'm so glad and so happy. And it's a long way. It's a relief knowing it's at least in the States. And like I said, hopefully it won't. Yes, I got Crafty. Oh, I can't remember your first name. Oh my God. I apologize. I am so bad with names. I got the M4 floor stand, which is the one that has the clamp on it like the Mini. And I can use it for hoops or Q-snaps, not scroll bars. I don't stitch on scroll bars. I don't like them. Hello, Karen. I tried to like scroll bars so many times, and I had so many kinds, and no, I just like something more portable. So, but I wanted this stand because of the issues I've been having with, arms and shoulders and the whole nine yards. So it will hopefully make my life easier, and I'm forcing myself to stitch two-handed. I am. I have to really force myself to do it. But as soon as it gets here, there will be an unboxing video. Absolutely will be an unboxing video. I may have my husband put it together, but it's not going to be hard to put together, and it is big. Do any of you watch is it Stitching with Luda? She's from the Ukraine. I'm not exactly sure where she is right now. I haven't seen a video from her in quite some time. But Luda did one. Hello, Michelle. Luda did a video on the stand exactly like I'm gutting. I think she did it a couple years ago, but you can see what it looks like on her video. It's big. It's big. It should be for the cost. It wasn't cheap, but I'm so excited. So that's my great, wonderful news for today. So what is everybody working on? I'm going to switch my screen here, and guess what? I'm actually going to try and stitch. Look, I got my little camera up, my phone up here, and I got my stitching down here, and I'm going to try and keep up with the chat and stitch a little bit. I am so glad you all have joined me tonight. No, Elizabeth, it is not weird that you guys are just as excited as I am, because how long have I been talking about this? I mean, you guys have been in the loop the whole time. So yeah. Yes, I am glad you're all as excited as I am. It's one of those, and isn't it going to be an awesome birthday present? Oh, Nick, you're working on work. Oh, that's not fun. That's no. And what is your work? I was going to say, are you a teacher? But school's out for summer. You're working on the map of Hawkrun Hollow. Oh, I love Kathy Barrick's stuff. Except I got so hung up in the full coverage studio that okay, Michelle, you got a question about tent stitching. You're wanting to do a HAID in tent instead of cross, so wondering the best method. continental or basket weave. You know, in all, I'm going to be right up front. Full disclosure here. I very rarely, if ever, do tent stitch. I would love to do it because I think it would be faster. However, I just can't get on with the look of it. Hi, Heather. Um, I prefer a full cross. However, if I were to do tent stitch, probably I would think about, if you watch Carolyn Mazzio's videos, she did, I'm sure they're still up on YouTube, but she did a video on tent stitching, and it's pretty much working in columns. And what she does is I think they call it a modified tent stitch, so that your fabric doesn't distort. So what they do is when they're going, let me get it right. When she goes right to left, she does it as a continental stitch so that you get that long arm on the back. And then when she goes left to right, she does a normal half cross stitch. The other one to watch who's really good and does a lot of tent stitch is Needle Ninja. She does quite a bit of tent stitch, and I think that's what she does. She snakes through her column and does this tent. Let's see here before. Go big or go home. You're working on the Sistine Chapel. Oh, the Sistine Chapel, and working on in diagonals. Good for you. Good for you. Daisy, you're saving up for pip and chip storage system. Yeah, that's another. If you like bobbins, that's a very, very nice system. Lisa, you started tent stitch on full coverage, and yeah, there are so many. There's so many different methods out there. It's like, make up your own. Just take a scrap piece of fabric and play around with it and see what's going to work, what works for you. Everybody's different. Personally, I'm a full cross kind of girl. Well, see here, I think this is why I don't go with tent stitch. 2 reasons. First reason being, and the most important reason being, is I prefer not to stitch with 2 threads. That's the most important thing. I do not like stitching with 2 threads anymore. That's just my own preference, and it's just my own opinion. That being said, the times that I have, I didn't bring my glasses. Oh, phooey. I'll be all right. The times that I have tried tent stitch, especially in high confetti areas, it got so bulky, so very, very bulky, that just, no. That just turned me off, and I said, no. Ain't got time for that. And I'm not, I'll be honest, I'm not super fussy about my back. I will carry threads. Um, I try to, if I carry at places where I can work over them to kind of tack them down. But, I'm not, I'll flip this over here. Let's see. I'll try and flip it over. There. See, I'm not super nuts. This was a high confetti spot, so I'm not super nuts about my back. It doesn't make me crazy to have carried threads and all that kind of stuff. Um, but by the same token, I don't like when it's really built up with excess thread. Well, hi, Norma. What a great question about 10 stitching. Have I seen others do it, but wondered if there was enough coverage with only doing one leg of a cross? Well, and that's the other thing. And I think that depends on what count you're using and how many threads all of it plays. And to be honest, that's why I often will say to people, take a piece of scrap fabric and play with it. Try some different methods. I think the other thing that throws me off when it comes to tent stitching is the fact that the easiest way for me to tent stitch is for my stitches to lay bottom left to top right. That is the direction of my bottom leg. My top leg lays bottom right to top left. So when I look at my tent stitching, it looks undone because the slant is going the wrong way. So if I were to really want to do tent stitching, I would have to develop the muscle memory and the brain power to make my stitches lay bottom right to top left, as opposed to, which is the direction of my top stitch. So yeah, it's a mental thing for me. But it's hard to, and I think there's those of you that can vouch for this, it's hard to change the way you stitch, and well, pretty hard to change the way you stitch when you've been stitching the same way for what feels like a bazillion years. And then all of a sudden to have to change the direction of that stitch, it's like it just doesn't look right. There's something missing. And it's this same way with my stitching two-handed. I really have to, like I said, I can do it well enough. That's not the issue. The issue is to keep doing it, because what I really want to do is this. But if I do this for too long, normally I'm faster at doing this. Normally. Oh, I missed one over here. But when I'm trying to talk and read chat and do all that good stuff, I'm not quite as fast as I would be if I was just kind of sitting by myself with TV on or a book on or what have you. And that's it. There we go. And this is a little shaky. I don't see. Ah, Elizabeth, you did one in 10 and it was lumpy and warped. Yeah. Certain angles you can see the waves in it. Yes. Did you frame it yourself, Elizabeth, or did you have it professionally framed? I mean, if you take it to a really good framer, they can often work with it. But the warping they can usually work with, but the lumpiness, I think that could very well be another story. I think if I remember right, we were talking in another video that I did about the lumps, and years ago, we used to put a piece of batting, like quilt batting, between the fabric and the mounting board, and that helped deal with some of that lumpiness. Whether they still do that today or not, I'm really not sure. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Elizabeth? I should do a video on. Oh, okay. I'm really rigged up here and like bump it. I should do a video on framing. I've done quite a few myself also. And it's just it's not difficult. It's just time consuming to get it all lined up and get it right. Jacqueline, have I ever used pony cross stitch needles? I don't know that I used pony needles, but I did use, and maybe they are pony needles. Oh, what is the name of them? They're, I think they're Japanese needles, and they come in a little box. Okay, the name of them is escaping me. Here we go. Senior moment. Oh, they're not called pony. Okay, let me look it up. I can see it. It's a little yellow box, square. It has a little tassel on it. Oh. Oh, for heaven's sake, what is... I'm looking them up. Tapestry needles for cross stitch. Let's see what Amazon has. I know, I think I bought them on Amazon already. I'll know it as soon as I see tulip needles. And I use Pat Carson's, yes. And I don't think you can get Pat Carson's anymore. Why do I remember hearing that you can't get Pat Carson's anymore? But I liked those. I liked those a lot. Tulip needles, I like those. I do especially like the ballpoint needles. Candy Gordon, what are you ordering for Christmas? The Pip and Chip. I missed that. I missed that. I see here you could ask for it for your birthday. Oh, Pat Carson's are coming back. Oh, Fat Quarter Shop Linda might have had some of the needles, some of those needles, but I don't think Pat's having them made anymore. I think they're kind of a thing of the past. But don't quote me. I could very, very well be wrong. I've not heard anything. The only thing I heard was they're no longer available. But they are. I went a little bit crazy when I bought some, and I bought a lot. So I have an elegant sufficiency of them. However, right now I'm really kind of into these the ballpoint needles, the Easy Guide needle. Oh, the company that had the rights was going to bring them back, but now they're not going to because they can't get the materials to make them. Oh, wow. You know what? That's the case with a lot of things. You can't get the materials to make it. Um, Janelle, no, the needles I was looking for were the tulip needles. Those are very nice also. I rather enjoy those also. What I have personally, what I have to be careful of is because of the you know what, Anne, you're absolutely right. The ballpoint needles kind of spoil you, don't they? I really prefer them at this point to anything. First of all, because they have that little ball on, so they're not like splitting your fabric threads or splitting your floss. That's the main reason I like them. But one of the, not that it's more important, but the the bigger reason I like them is because I don't tarnish them. Um, Take for instance, and I know a lot of people like John James needles. A lot of people. If I use a John James needle, I am changing it probably about every week because I wear off the finish. And then, how can I explain it? When you are using a needle and you hear that more noise than normal, I mean, you always have a little bit of a friction or when you're pulling the needle through the thread, through the fabric. But if it's really making a lot of noise and a really scratchy kind of noise, and you can feel it, pardon me, you can feel it dragging, it's time to change your needle because that finish is probably worn off. What that does is leaves, not that I'm going to worry about it because it's not going to happen till long after I'm gone, but that finish leaves little speckles of that coating in your piece, and it could somewhere down the line affect the longevity of your stitching. Will it start to cause your thread or fabric to discolor or whatever? But it leaves little like splinters, unable to see them, but it leaves them in the fabric. Oh, Daisy, well, you go to bed and have a good night's sleep. I'm so glad you stopped by. And please do come back again. Love having all you guys here. So I end up with some needles changing my needle like at least once a week. So I can go through a lot of needles in a short amount of time. Bowhins, I can, yes, it's the chemicals in my body react with the coating on the needle. And the acidity in my skin causes it to, hi Nicole, causes them to tarnish and causes that finish to come off the needle. In fact, I had one, I think I threw it away already. I had one earlier today that really made an ugly noise when it went through the fabric. I thought, oh, it's time to get rid of you. Bowhin needles I can use a little bit longer. I can use them maybe up to about a month at best. The ballpoint needles, I have used the same ballpoint needle for well over 6 months. Difference being, ballpoint needles are stainless steel. They're not going to tarnish. And I don't think they really have a coating that's going to wear off. Or if they are coated, and I kind of think I sort of half read that somewhere recently, that if they are coated, underneath that coating is stainless steel. And that's not going to tarnish. And I put that in my little black emery, and it shines right up, and it's rather wonderful. Oh, just unthreaded. Linda, the ballpoint needles are made by Sullivan's. They come 2 in a pack. And I think you can get them at most any needlework store. You can order them from 123 Stitch. Yeah, there's a lot of places that carry them. You can get them on Etsy. Sorry, I had to find my place here. Yeah, you can get them on Etsy. Some places, if you look on Etsy, some places call them Easy Guide needle. Other places call them ballpoint needles. I just saw another name for them, which I was not familiar with, but it's all basically the same needle. Norma, you need to try some. Absolutely, you need to try some. Yeah, I'm not sure, Elizabeth, what peacemakers are made out of. I mean, there's some kind of metal underneath, and then they're coated, but I'm not exactly sure what the base and the coating is. But it's the acids in your skin that react with that coating and that's what causes it to tarnish. Yes, guys, try that. I'm trying to enable you all. Please try some ballpoint needles, will you all? Yeah, like I said, the last time I bought some, I went a little crazy and bought enough to last me a little while, which that's okay because I'm also quite famous for losing them. And or I let them stick in the project, and then that project might get put away for a while, and it ends up with the needle still in it. And then you get rid of some fabric and you send the needle along because you didn't realize it was still stuck in the fabric. And I know there's one person here that knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm very good at that. That's why I keep an elegant sufficiency of needles on hand. In fact, back when Heaven and Earth was selling bohin needles bulk, do you remember that? It was a couple of years ago. Actually, it was quite a few years ago. I bought a pack of 1,000. Yeah, I got enough needles. I really don't have to buy needles ever again. Because like I said, I have an elegant sufficiency of needles. But when you think about it, that's your primary tool when you want to do cross stitch. So there is a thing, there is something to be said for Elizabeth, you could have kept it. I have more than enough. I can send you a ballpoint needle if you like. I thought it was funny, but I was thoroughly thrilled too. Okay, where am I here? What did I just do? Oh, I'm up here. Making myself confused. Here we go. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, see, things just slip. It'll come back to me at some point. Oh, I know. There is something to be said for having the right tools for the projects for the things that you do. It's just like, okay, you're a dressmaker and you're cutting fabric. You don't want to use, a cheap pair of scissors like they give kids in kindergarten. You want a good pair of fabric shears. And it's the same with cross stitch. I mean, you're cross stitching and you're doing this gorgeous piece and doing gorgeous work. So you want to use the tools that are going to allow you and help you to do that gorgeous work. If you don't have the right tools, it may It, not that it won't be a nice project, but maybe it could be a nicer project. But yeah. Oh, I didn't know that, Candy. When you cut up onions, if you rub your hands with stainless steel, your hands won't smell of onions? Huh, interesting. I never knew that. So, oh, I'm trying to thread this needle and it just thought I had it through and it popped out. So, do you keep something stainless steel in your kitchen? Okay, Karen, thread your needle. All right, I think I will. What do you keep around so that you can rub your hands on it so it doesn't smell of onions? That's interesting. I have a tool for onions. Kind of strange how it works. Oh, I never knew there was, goes to show you what I know. I never knew there was a tool for onions. I never knew that. I always just use a regular old paring knife to cut them up. Well, that just goes to show you what I know. Oh, you rub your hands on a spoon. Well, I guess my spoons and my silverware is stainless steel now that I think about it. Huh, interesting. I'm going to have to remember that. Rub your hand. Yeah, my sink isn't stainless steel though. Pooh. But my faucet is. Ooh. Oh, you guys are giving me all kinds of ideas here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. See, what you learn when you come to cross stitch, you learn many other things. Looks like a bar soap, but it's stainless material. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, gotta put this up. Oh, okay. That'll be good. Okay. All right. And do you believe this? I'm actually stitching tonight. Doesn't always happen. Usually I get too caught up in the chat. Oh, I know what else I wanted to tell you guys. See if I can show you. I was reading on Facebook people who have gotten these, here, we put it under here, these channels to put your floss in, these floss pages. You only get so many stickers to put on the floss when you pull it through the channel. And people were talking about options for that. So one woman took, I think it was like a plastic file folder, and cut wedges that she could lay her floss over and pull that through. However, I have this box. I was going to make business cards for something. So it's like heavier paper. So I just used my paper cutter and cut the business cards. Now they're all on one sheet, so I could cut a whole bunch at a time, and then punched a hole in it and pulled that up through the channel, and it fits, and it helps keep this from getting quite as messy, to use that long tab instead of pulling these all the way up. Whoops, here. Instead of pulling these all the way up and in and then having a whole bunch of thread exposed. This way you can still keep it to a smaller amount and still have that these aren't flopping around because you didn't put them in the channel. So I just cut those. Somebody else made some with a cry cut. I don't have a cry cut, and I don't know really anything about a cry cut, but she made some like this with a cry cut machine, and actually then printed, somehow she printed the numbers and has them permanently affixed, so that she has one for, I believe, a whole set of DMC. But I thought, wow, this is a good idea, because then when you need more, you just make another little card and stick it in there. And these were cheap enough. It isn't, it isn't like you're laying out a ton of money. I did like the idea though of the plastic ones. So I might have to buy some. I think you can get like plastic file folders that you could cut, and she cut them long enough so that she could like half moon on each side in the middle and fold them in half, and then she stuck the thread in that fold and pulled them up through. So there's all kinds of other things you can do. The only thing yet that I'm not quite sure about, and not quite knowing what I want to do, is if you have a length of floss left over. I haven't come up with a way to manage that, short of looping it back through the tag and then having it hang loose on, not in a channel, and then that's almost as flopping around and annoying for me as, I don't know, I just don't like that. Hello, Yvonne. You just got home from work. Oh, well, I hope you had a good day at work. So I'm still working on that. I still, bottom line, love the system. It just has a few quirks that need to be fine-tuned. And I will find something to fine-tune it for me. I thought about having just something else where you put the extra, like when you have leftover thread. However, then you're back to looking at two different places for okay, do I have a thread started? Yeah. So I haven't quite come up with what to do about that. What am I stitching? I am stitching, this is the Christmas stocking for my daughter, And did I put him on here? I must not have. Oh no, the horrors! The horrors! Let me go find a picture. Oh, my bobbins? These are sewing machine bobbins. And no, they're not just sitting here. See if I can get it off. Hold on. Yikes. They each have a magnet on the other side. So these are metal sewing machine bobbins. And I just put them there where I want them out of the way. And now that I took this off, I'm going to move them because my thread keeps catching on them. So I just put them on, wrap the thread around, lay it on the top, and then take a magnet and stick it underneath, and that holds them out of the way. And when this line is done, I will do the same thing there. But let me, oh, maybe here I have it. Nope, wrong picture. Wrong picture. Let me find you one quick. Image. Here we go. New one. We're going to call it Fred. Yeah, why buy those other bobbins when you have these sewing machine bobbins? And Fred, where are you? It just takes a magnet. Here we go. This is what I'm stitching. There you go. It's Sir Frederick Frosty, Heaven and Earth Designs. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Heaven and Earth Designs. Christmas stocking. I wanted to have it done for Christmas, but I don't know. Yeah, the sewing machine bobbins are smaller than those big, those bigger plastic things. And those got really annoying to me because I'm only working on a, oh, it might be 8 by 11 Q-snap. So to have those bigger bobbins, they are just totally in the way. So this worked out really well. I had sewing machine bobbins, lots of them. So I just had to get a little packet of the magnets, and these are just refrigerator magnets, and they're the heavy duty I can't get you apart magnets. So you just needed a pack of those, and you stick them under the bobbin. You can put it wherever you want it. Yeah, you can do the same thing. Glue a magnet. Although if they are the steel ones, you only need one magnet on the underside. You don't have to glue a magnet onto this one. And they're not in your way. If my thread is really short, probably what I have been doing, because here we go again. I'm experimenting. You all know I'm always wanting to try something new. Allison was here the the last time I live streamed. I think it was the last time or the time before. And she came up with this method of stitching, and she called it Royal Rose. So basically what you do is she only works down 2 blocks. Now I'm working down 4 because was done down to here, so I just wanted to even everything out. So I'm just going to work across this row to even everything out. Because see, so I'm going to fill everything in down to here. And then I'll go to just doing 2 blocks at a time. But the way it works is, and I'm testing this theory out, so bear with me, is you take your color and start up here at the top or wherever, and take your first color, work it down your 2 blocks. If it's used in the next 2, park it where it's going to be used again. Okay. Now, if my thread is really short, say I only have maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches left, I'm going to then, like you see here, pull it over to the right, and I'll leave an empty square, and then I will let them in this square so that after I stitch over them in this column, I can cut these off. Now, the reason I'm trying that and not using one of my ways of ending is I'm wanting to see if doing that helps to prevent getting column lines. Because we all know once you work in a strict straight line, there is the tendency to get column lines. And Allison's theory, so I'm testing it, is to pull that working thread that you're ending over into, so if you think about this, the column that you're working in is column 1. The column that would be your next column is column 2. And this column is column 3. So this is the one I want to put my thread in when I'm going to end it. If I were to not have this, say I'm using 902 right now. If I'm not going to use 902 down here, I could look over into this column and park it where it's going to be used again in this column, and then that way it's ready. If it's not down here and it's not in here, then I'll bring it over one more column, bring it to the front, and cut it off. Well, not cut it off completely, but just leave a tail so that when this column is worked, then I can get rid of these tails, either by pulling them to the back or trimming them close to the fabric. So that's basically Allison's Royal Rose method. Everybody that's tried it so far is saying that it's so much faster. So again, I mean, you know me, I've tried about every method under the sun. I have to try it and see. Yvonne, I abstained. I did not buy anything on the sale yesterday. I was very good. No, I abstained. Actually, yes, I did see the sale, but it was a little bit later. And I thought, you know what? I have enough charts to choke a horse. I don't need any more. I have enough that I have going, and I have more than I care to admit. So no, I didn't buy any. I behaved myself. Um, Clever to use the bobbins with magnets. Well, Candy, that's I try to give you all these little tips of how to do different things, and some of them I've been doing for a long time, and some of them I just went, whoa, well, why can't you do that? So let's just try. This was one of them. This was one of them. Get the get the threads out of your way because they make me crazy hanging. And yeah, why not just use a bobbin and a magnet? Yeah. Okay, let's see. That's similar to how you start and end threads on DI. Yeah, a lot of people use this method of just doing an away thread, stitching over it. Again, you don't have to flip your work. I don't like to flip my work. So this, this just buys right into that whole scenario. But yeah, it is similar. Very well, it's the same as when you stitch on the diagonal. Silja, hi, how are you? I didn't see you sneak in here till just now. You've been using this method and you've not seen any lines? Awesome, great to know. Great to know. You've used it on 2 projects so far. Good. Good to, and you're doing this thing of starting and ending your threads? So that is working. Norma, the way I tell if it's just a random thread to be cut or a parked thread is, first of all, it's in column number 3. Second of all, I only leave a short length. So certainly that's too short to even hardly thread my needle with, let alone stitch with. So if it's too short, it's a thread to be cut off. If I'm going to park it and use it, then it's a longer thread like this. Yeah, that's how I tell. Let's see. Thunderstorm coming through. Ooh. Oh, I hate thunderstorms. Yeah, we're supposed to get some too. So if we get a thunderstorm, I am probably going to say sayonara. But so far, they've been going around us. Elizabeth, you come to your senses. Do you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit of restraint. What about Grand Library? You purchased it because of you and Teresa Little Stitcher. Oh gosh. Well, I'm sitting on the fence with Grand Library. I do have the chart of just the center section, and I have that started. Part of me was thinking about doing the whole thing, and part of me was thinking, okay, start with the center section on the big one, and if you want to stop at that, well, you can, but if you want to do more, then you have the fabric and the opportunity to do more. However, in rethinking that and in showing it to my husband, he says, oh, one of those that's so busy, meaning it just has too much stuff all over it and it's busy. So if I continue, I will just do the center section. And I will probably go back to just the chart of the center section and not take that center section out of the big one. So I have it. It's still over there. Over there. So it's kind of in limbo right now. Away threads or threading behind on the back. Oh, okay. And you're not getting lines. Oh. Okay, you feather a little bit also. Yeah, and I was thinking about doing that because sometimes you just get that oddball stitch in the next column and it's just one or two and it's close to what you're already stitching. And to me, it makes more sense just to go and stitch it as to why not stitch it and then having to thread your needle and start and end for one stitch. That to me is kind of dumb. So I will just jump over and do those one or two stitches. Now, if I have a whole lot more of that color over there, I will just let it to pick up with that color. But if it's the one or two only stitches, yeah, I'm gonna stitch it. Yeah, Candy, everybody's saying, and I think Silja can vouch for that. Everybody's saying that it is faster to stitch this way. Hello, Pat. How do I start a new thread without stitching? Sylvia, you're a rebel. You rebel, you. Guess what? You're not alone. Again, why end it when you got a whole bunch of the same color over here? Yeah, good old common sense. Exactly. How do you start and end your threads without flipping? Okay. You can do that many different ways. You can, like, I'm going to start this thread now, okay, because I still have more of the 902. So, as soon as I figure out again where I have to start, I think it's right here. I could go down through my fabric over here in column number 3, leave a long thread underneath, and come up over here. Okay, so that would be one way. And then I could do my X and I would catch my thread when let me get you in a little closer. Now that's about as close as I can get. And I would catch my thread by stitching over it here. Okay, so I would do the first half of my stitch, come up for the second half and cross it. And that would be, I'd just leave a short tail over here and that would be anchored. That's the easiest way. That's the easiest way. If you're working in this method of columns, or if you're working on the diagonal, that's probably your easiest way to start and stop threads. Another way, and I will often use this way, is I don't know if you're working with one or two threads. This will work with either. Okay. Another way is to go down in your upper right. I'm going to do it over here so that you can see it better. Go down in your upper right corner. Whoops, wrong way, Jose. Upper right corner. Come up in, I'm sorry. Go down in your upper left corner. Come up in your upper right corner. Go back down in your upper right corner. Leave a loop. Come up in the lower left. Go through the loop pull it, and go back down in the upper right. That completes the first half. Come up in your bottom right and finish the stitch. Easy peasy. And that will work with 1 or 2 threads. Now, I didn't need that color there, so let's undo it. Now, this was another way that I just learned. I would not do it for a single stitch. And this is the one, I need to get that video together, and what I need to do, what I'm working on is compiling all the different methods of starting and stopping threads that I've talked about over the course of my videos, which I kind of have to go back and watch some to say, okay, what was this way and what was that way. But another way that I came across, and this will work if you have more than 1 stitch of the same color in a row, in that row. So if you have 5, you're starting a thread, you have 5 stitches of the same color, for example. And I would say anything 3 or more. What you can do is this. And again, I'm going to do it over here. Is go down in your top right corner. Leave a tail. Come up in your bottom right corner. Take this tail and hold it. So essentially what this method is stitching over your tail on the front of your work. Okay, so you hold that tail so that when you go down in your top right corner, you're stitching over it. And then you come up in the bottom right corner and go back down in that. Okay, so then your next stitch, again, you would stitch over, and I'll cut these stitches out then. You would stitch over the tail on the top of your work and probably catch your finger and unthread your needle. No, almost, it was close. Okay, so now I've stitched over it with 2 X's. I could do one more if I had 3. This is why I say 3 would probably be good, because then I'll stitch over it the 3rd time. And then I either have more or not, but then I would take what's left here and these scissors are, I think I dropped them once too often. There we go. And trim off the end. And let me get you up here a little closer. There you go. Oh no, where'd you go? There it is. You can't tell because that little fuzzy there will also get covered over with whatever color. So you can't tell. So that's another way to start from the front, if you so choose to do that. Now, I also learned okay, making you dizzy. Up, 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 up. Oh no, where'd you go? Sorry, guys. There we go. I also learned that, and I'm just going to show you at this one also, You can end on the front by, okay, now we're going to pretend that we have all kinds of bunches of stitches done here. If you come up between, see, between, like this is 20 count, so I can easily split this thread. Okay. Yeah. You think you like the first method. Yeah. And either one of these would work. You can come up in the middle, and if you want to end on the front, you could actually go underneath these stitches with your needle. Like that. And pull it through. And end your threads that way. And then this you would just, and I'll cut this out then because it's not, obviously, and end it that way. And I have done that at places on this piece, and oh my goodness, Karen, stop bumping things. And you really can't tell where. But again, the easiest method is to go down over here in column number 3. Come up over here where you want to stitch. Now I have to go back down here because this is too high for me to actually really want to stitch. Let's move you back a little bit. Oh, sorry, you got to see my hand. There we go. Okay, so to come up, oh no, this way. This way. No, this way. To come up over here where you want to stitch. And just let this tail, just let this. And you don't have to leave much of a tail, just short. I mean, you don't have to leave a 2 or 3 inch tail, just enough so that you can hold on to it so it doesn't pull through the fabric. And do your stitches. That's the easiest. That's the easiest. There are many ways to start and end your threads. These are just some new ways that I recently heard about. So it's like, okay, when I get everything together to do that video, Tori, hello. I will include those. Tori. You can't quite see it, but look what I'm using. To have my stitching on. I love it. It makes it so much easier. Oh, you have a crying kitten. Oh, well, you give your kitten some love for me. And have a good night. And hopefully we'll catch you next time. So yes, Tori, this works amazingly well for oh gosh, now I have my there. It is the most comfortable setup I have had for when I'm streaming and stitching. My only issue, and I have a part ordered, is this ball thing on mine. This jigger doesn't work. It doesn't hold anymore. So as hard as I tighten this does not stay where it's supposed to. So I have a new one, except the part that it would fit onto on the boom is a male. And the end on the new piece of this, of the ball thinger, is also a male. So I have ordered a part that has 2 females so that I can put that in between. And then it will be perfectly, terrifically wonderful. But this is the most comfortable and the easiest setup I have had to do a live stream or to do any video with stitching, because I can sit comfortable. I can have it where I need it to be. I have my camera up or my phone up here. That works. So I am eternally grateful. Eternally grateful. I can show you the method, Tori. In fact, yeah, I can show you the method. Basically, what it was that I just showed everybody was, instead of holding your little length of thread on the back of your fabric and stitching over it, you have it on the front and stitch over it. And then to end it, I came up and I fed the needle back underneath the stitches. So I'll put that in my start and end video. That I'm probably going to try and do that this weekend. I think I have all the methods that I've talked about, and if I miss some, well, we'll just make another video. Yes, but you're absolutely right. I like having this little ball thing because it gives you more flexibility in positioning this. I mean, this is okay with just the clamp, but I think I could get it a little more comfortable. Not that it's not comfortable, because it is, but I could fine tune it even more by having this little ball bearing thing. So that the piece that I need should be here tomorrow. And then, well, good morning, Stitchbug. How are you? So then I'll put it all together and try that. But the piece that I got is this. So it has a ball at this end, and that's the end that would fit onto the boom. And no, I guess it doesn't matter which end you put on the boom. And then there's the ball at this end. So yeah, it's even a little bit more flexible. And then it tightens with this. And the way this tightens is it doesn't have a little piece in there that is hitting against the ball. This is actually tightening these 2 pieces around the ball. So hopefully that is going to work better. So, but as you see, male end, male end. This is a male end. Well, that just don't work. However, it did give me another clamp to use somewhere. So yeah, we're in good shape for the shape we're in. So yes, I do absolutely thank you for the idea, because here I had this set in here all this time and not using it because this thing was not holding my webcam the way I wanted it. So I rigged up another way, and now I like this to hold my Q-snap. Sheila, I'm sorry that you have to run, but I hope you have a good rest of your evening or sleep or whatever it is that you have to go do. But have a good rest of your evening, and I will catch you next time. Really adds to the angle. I'm sorry the one gave out. Cool part about building this out of camera stuff is all the. You're absolutely right. There's tons. There's a lot of options. In fact, well, I have this stand that my camera is on, but I would love to find a way to actually attach my tablet also. But I'm working on that. At least I'm over here in my stitching room with it, and I don't have to completely tear everything down between times. Now, yes, I will move this up and out of the way. And this piece that has my, oh, you don't need to see my hand. This piece that's holding my camera, I will move out of the way. But that's it. Everything else is kind of here and always here, and it's easy peasy to set up and get started. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, is everybody stitching, or are you just listening to me gab? But yeah, for those that Silja's still here, I think, and those people that are trying Allison's Royal Rose, I'm kind of rather enjoying them. It's easy to, I mean, I'm not getting lost. Oh, okay, Tori, I will do that. I will absolutely do that. Yeah, I find that stitching this way, I'm not getting lost either, because I'm just moving down the column one block at a time and kind of going row by row down. I should have looked at, oh, I did. Oh, guys, I want to tell you, bumper number of stitches here. Are you ready for this? 30. Oh, that's the story of my life when I do a live. I don't get many stitched, but that's okay. It's 30 more than I would have done otherwise. Oh, Daphne, that sounds nice. Game of Thrones piece. Oh. Ooh, that sounds nice. My husband my husband is a big Game of Thrones fan. I thought, I don't know why I thought there was going to, no, it ended. That's right. We waited so long for the ending. That was it. That's what I'm thinking of. I was at first thinking, oh, there should be another sequel to that yet, but there's not. It ended, and we didn't exactly like the way it ended, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm actually stitching tonight. Can you believe that? But I think having it set up this way has helped. Oh, it has all the characters on it. I'm helping you sit still, Lisa. Well, that's good. Jody, when did you pop in here? I missed you. I didn't see you pop in. Were you here? Oh, Nina. Oh, you've been stitching while listening. Well, that's good. But if hubby needs some attention, you go give hubby some attention, because that's more important than sitting here listening to me ramble about rambling. But at least everybody's stitching. And Jody, yes, I am stitching 30 stitches, but now it's probably 34. Oh, oh. Jody, were you here when I told everybody my wonderful news? Working from home and listening at the same time. Well, that's good. That's good. It makes work a little less or a little more. I don't mind having to work. I could never have done that in my job. Oh my God, they would have. Oh, they frowned upon that. Although my boss sat on her computer all day long, but what can I say? You weren't here. Well, Jody, then you have to hear my awesomely wonderful. My stand is in New York. I do believe it has or is going through customs as at this very moment. So, with any amount of luck, it will be here shortly. With any amount of luck. Hopefully, it will not sit in customs for an extended period of time. Hopefully, we're going to say, now I did read, although, can you trust this? I did read that packages should pass through customs within 24 hours, that they don't sit there long. However, can you believe that? Since sometimes my packages take the scenic route. So we shall see. So hopefully, let's see. It's now Wednesday. Oh, darn. I'm sorry, guys. I keep kicking this stand. So I kick the bucket. And then my camera goes funky. Um, um, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh my God. I forgot what I was going to say. Well, hopefully it'll be here in the next few days with any amount of luck. But postal system in these parts tends to give packages the tour. They go to places that are not even close to me. Sometimes they go to other states. I said earlier I had one go to Bangor, Maine, and back to Harrisburg. So I had one come from, I forget where, come to Harrisburg, go someplace else, come back to Harrisburg, go all the way back to the point of origin, come back to Harrisburg, and then we finally got it. Oh, Tori, you're not stitching. Shame on you. You're gaming. But that's all right. You can game. You have to have a different guilty pleasure every now and again. Yes, I'm so excited. So yes, there will be a unboxing and set up the stand video. Now, what I have to decide, maybe you guys can help me decide. What I have to decide is this. Do I want to put this, okay, I'm kind of getting tired of stitching. I'm going to change my screen back. Where do I want to go? Not there. Let's go back here. Hey. Oh, that light's bright. There, that's a little better. There. Do I want to put my stand over here in my stitching room? As you can see, over my shoulder is my Lowry stand with Once Upon a Time upon it. So do I want to put my Patoki stand over here and put my Lowry stand in the living room? That way, when I'm in the living room in the evening, I can just take my Q-snap and take it over there and put it in that stand and stitch over there in the evening. And I spend most of the day, well, I spend all of the day over here. So, do I want to do it that way? Or do I want to let my Lowry stand here and put my Patoki stand in the living room, which is a nicer piece of furniture and may look nicer in the living room than the Lowry stand? So, what would you do? Keep it over here or put it in the Patoki stand? Stitching room or living room? I should put a poll up, but I don't know how to do that. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'll have to figure these things out. I don't know how to do a poll. I need a drink. Opinions, anybody? Opinions? What would you do? I'm leaning towards putting it in the living room. You put it where it would be well used either place. During the week, yeah. Yeah. I know, and I'm undecided. That's why I'm undecided. Because I do spend where it looks best as furniture. Yeah. I'm probably, part of me wants to put it in the living room because it is a nice piece of furniture. And this, not that this Lowry stand is not nice. The only time I use the desk stand is if I'm taking it to a retreat or somewhere else to stitch, and I'm stitching at a table. I would probably, for all intents and purposes, use it more over here. So I'm thinking that's probably what I will do. Yeah, Jody, you're right. It is a work of art. It is a beautiful, beautiful stand. Ah, wait till you guys see it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, Pat. Yeah, and that's another thought too. Most of my days are spent over here. The frame is a piece of art. The stitching is a work of art. Yeah, you're right on that one too. Absolutely, absolutely. It's yeah. And I have to laugh when people say, "Do you sell your cross stitch, Karen? Do you sell your cross?" No, no, I don't. Well, hello, Julia. I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, I have to laugh when people ask me if I sell my stuff, and I say, I don't think anyone would want to pay what you'd have to charge to sell your pieces. I can you imagine even at okay, Stitcher's Retreat, 468,000 stitches. Okay? 468,000 stitches. So, even at a penny a stitch, four, so times 0.01, just because of math. That's $4,680. Could have done that in my head, but gotta be sure. So right there, that's a penny a stitch. Then you add on all the thread. I gotta turn this. Okay, you gotta. That's a little better. Then you add on all the thread. So I have no idea what the thread costs anymore. Let's just be conservative and say the thread costs $50. And I can tell you the price of the fabric. I bought a yard. Now, it didn't take the whole yard. But let's just go with the price of a yard, and then that would make up any difference in the thread. Since I don't remember what I paid. It was 6-7 years ago now. So the last time I looked at gridded fabric, it was around $70 a yard at Heaven and Earth. Oh, phooey. And 80 plus 50 plus 70 plus 50 plus 70. Okay, that's $4,800. That doesn't include 5 years worth of time. So that's all the cost of the materials at a penny a stitch. I would probably want to double that. Who's going to pay darn near $10,000 for that piece? No. No. Somebody asked me if I would sell it, and I went really outrageous. I said, well, if you have $15,000, I'll sell it to you. They said, I don't think so. Yeah, and you know what, Ann? I have to agree. I have to agree. You know what? Yeah. I think unless you're a stitcher, people don't realize how long these things take. They just don't. They just have no concept. It takes another stitcher to realize that, you know what? That took years to stitch. And well, up until I hurt my shoulder, I really stitched a lot more than what I am right now. Yes, I'm still stitching, and I'm starting to gradually stitch a little bit more again, but even so, even if you could, oh my goodness, stitch 1,000 stitches a day, still look how long that project was going to take. Yeah. I certainly can't stitch 1,000 stitches a day. No. Maybe some days, but not every day. No. So, yeah. So, no, I don't sell my work. I don't intend to sell my work. I am never going to sell my work. It hangs in my living room for me to enjoy. So with that, I don't know. I think you guys are right, though. I'm gonna look at, first of all, see pictures of it and know that it's going to be large is one thing, but to actually see it all put together and set up and know how exactly large it is will probably also be the determining factor of, does it come over here in my craft room, or can I put it in my living room? So, because my living room is not that big either. I live in a very old farmhouse. And my living room is not that big. It might be 8 by 10. Or, no, 10 by 12. But it's not that big. So it might not even fit over there too well. And over here I got all kinds of stuff over here, but I can make it work. And you make quilts that people hang up backwards because I make the back beautiful, but it doesn't reflect. Yeah, exactly. Do you know, I said this before, my husband, I have a lot of hard hanger pieces that I use every day. And if we take one off of a table or whatever, for whatever reason, and my husband puts it back for me, he invariably puts it upside down. Because you can't tell, I mean, which is a good thing, but you can't tell the front from the back. So I hear you. But yeah, that's the craft. That's, if you're going to do it right and do a good job. I hear you. Well, guys, everybody's getting quiet. I'm running out of things and getting a little tired. It's a little after 9 here. So, unless somebody has anything else, I think we'll probably call this a day. And I'm planning on doing that video on starting and ending threads this week yet. let's see, today's Wednesday, probably Thursday or Friday. I'd also like to put up a Stitch with Me this week yet too, so look for both of those. No worries, Tori. Yeah, it's well, it's only 9 o'clock, so it's not past my bedtime because I'm often up late, but yeah, time to sit and chill. I actually want to do some knitting yet tonight. That's the other thing I've been doing because it doesn't hurt my shoulder, is I'm making socks. So I have one sock done for my granddaughter. I just need to make the pair, and then she'll get them this weekend when we go to see her. Oh, Julia, good. Single strand loop start. Yes, absolutely. Give you a refresher. And some other starts. I showed a little bit. I think it might be a little big to drag from room to room, but you might be right. Pat, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And thank you for stopping by. And please do come back again. You know, sometimes we just sit here and talk nonsense or blab about nothing and a little bit of everything. So, yeah. So please come back. Subscribe if you find something here that you like. Hopefully you find something here that you like. I am working on the videos for the playlist of the Book of Knowledge. So the next up will be how to start and stop your threads and give you a whole bunch of ideas on doing that. I'm looking at this is another one I thought about the other day. How to lace your fabric onto your scroll frame. A lot of people get those clip things and use those to put them on. But if you don't have them, or you don't want to spend the money for them, there is a way to actually lace it on to your scroll frame. So we'll do a video on that too. And as soon as my stand gets here, we'll do that. You know what, Candy? You're right there too. Yeah, people that don't do these things don't totally understand. Yeah, why does a quilt cost $500 or whatever? And even if you make the top, to have it quilted, you know, can be an expense. I remember when my mother passed away, she had a white on white quilt in the quilt frame, and it was to be mine. Okay, so it was white fabric, and the whole top was just the white muslin or whatever the fabric was. And the design was in the quilting, or is in the quilting. It was half finished. And it took me a while to decide, but since I live, well, Amish country has now moved to my area, my aunt found an Amish woman who ended up finishing it for me so that I do have it. But it took me a long while to decide, did I want to do that? So, yeah. And you know what? At that point, it cost what it cost. Is it possible to use a scroll frame without the side? No, you need the side bits, the sidebars. But instead of using those tension things to pull the fabric tight on the sides, as well as, you know, your scroll bars tighten it top to bottom, but sometimes it's that loose, flabby stuff on the side. And a lot of people get those tension things, or they make little clampy things. There is a way to lace that around the sidebar that you don't have to use those. The only thing is, when you scroll it, you have to undo that and redo it every time. Yeah, that when they do know, they think we're crazy. You're absolutely right. But then again, sometimes craziness is just a short trip. Oh my, you bought a long arm quilting machine secondhand. Oh, I'm sure it has paid for itself. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you do, well, Elizabeth, you do both. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, I think we're gonna call it a day. Look for those other videos, hopefully, if not this week, well, if not both of them this week, the beginning of next week. For the time being, I think I'm going to try and do lives every Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday it might be earlier in the day instead of 7 o'clock. I might do it a little bit earlier so we can catch some other people. And you are all welcome. So with that, guys, I think we're going to call it a day. And thank you all for being here. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm so glad you're part of this little needlebug community, as I fondly call it. But there's one thing I want you to remember, no matter what. Don't let anybody steal your joy. And there are no rules in cross stitch. Just remember that. There's no rules. The only rules are the ones you set for yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Your rules are your rules. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your evening. Those of you on the West Coast, that it's only 6 o'clock there. So I will see you next time. Have a great day. Have a great evening. And I will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.